Hey, good evening, you guys. Welcome back to Southern Latitudes. I'm Robin, and I garden, mostly suburban garden, in East Central Florida on a half-acre. And today is our garden tour. And I am starting in a different part of the garden than normal because we had a big situation going on last night. This is my sun red nectarine. And I found this on the ground, but I picked it up. And it looks like we had a massive animal hit. I want to thank Buddy, who totally figured out something was going on. And look at that. Look at that. Okay. Well, this is just pulled since this morning now. Oh, I hope I didn't lose this one too. Oh, so that tells me it's squirrels. I thought it's something that's got to be able to get in the tree, so I thought it could be raccoon. Maybe I thought maybe it was raccoon. It could be possum or something, but daytime animals, that's telling me that's squirrels. So that was my fourth one, and I was going to bring it in the house. But look at this. So I have bags around my fruit, and then I bought this big, gigantic, I think it's 72 by 84 inches each. Direction, and it came right through. It did a massive hit on every bit of my fruit in there. I see fruit flies in there, or flies. And look at this. I had 4 fruit left, and they're all destroyed. Oh, that makes me so livid. Y'all, you work so hard. You wait for a couple years or so for fruit. And then, I tried to do the right thing. I had 15 nectarines on this tree originally, and in one day they took out 9 of my nectarines. That left me a few. I had a couple I lost from weather. And then, I'm like, tonight I'm going to do the garden tour, and I'm going to grab that final nectarine, whether it's ready or not. But look, it's just been picked clean. So, squirrels won this one, but which is wild because I thought the squirrels were kind of quiet today. They've been mostly on the bird feeder. I'm none happy about this, huh, buddy? You're not happy somebody's been in your yard either. But anyhow, let me just go ahead and grab these. I guess I better take all of them in because otherwise they'll just tear up the netting. And I even have Mr. Scarecrow over here on my black sapote. Yep, there he is. Not really scaring off the squirrels, are you? That's all right, buddy. I mean, we'll let you stay there. This is the black sapote. It's been in the ground for a good 6, 7, 8 months, and putting on new growth in here. I have Katuk right there, and where's the other one? Oh, over here, right there. So they're finally starting to come along. I lost all my fruit in that, I don't know if you guys knew, but Central Florida had quite the hit of hail and whatnot. And even though I barely had any hail, but it still knocked what little bits of fruit that I had on here. I had a couple of them in the center. I'm hoping that one day I'll come out here and go, why, and all of a sudden there'll be a piece of fruit in there that I've not seen. Over here in this side we have the sweet almond bush, and then we have the Scarlet Beauty plum, which is just still growing up. I didn't get very many blooms this year. It was kind of surprising, but also not surprising with the weird weather we've had. Oh man, I smell that sweet almond. Then I had a volunteer tomato. As you can see, maybe you can't see, but a lot of blooms have come off of this. That means I'm having bloom drop, and that is right on time because the heat. We're having nights starting about 71 degrees in the evening. In the evening the temperature is about 71 degrees, so that tells me that it's about time to say goodbye to the tomatoes, and the days are going up in the 90s. Here we have jelly fig. And again, no fruit set that I see. I mean, maybe I'll be pleasantly surprised one day, but I don't see any figs on any of it. That's kind of bizarre to me. I have my pineapple garden over here. We have a bunch of pineapples hidden in there, which I guess is good. Hopefully nobody's going to eat it. Look, if you look really hard, you can see them. These pineapples seem to be a little bit bigger. I also have pineapples over in the house garden. And then next we have my little tiny version of a food forest. And this is my smoothie garden. And I'm blessed. I did set fruit with the mango, but then it dropped it. This is Pickering mango, and it's still a baby. It's not even been in the ground for a full year. So we were, fortunate to see the fruit get set. So next year I think will be our good year. We have pineapples in here. We've also had blueberries at one time lining the outside, but now they are moved over further in better shade of the food forest. And then we put in a little bit of sunflowers for fun. Oh, wait. And let me show you this, because this is new since last month's garden tour. So you see this? All this is brand new growth on my bay laurel. The sweet bay tree, like the one that you cook with in the kitchen. We're getting tons of new growth with all that rain we had. Super, super exciting. More pineapples and the rosemary, which is not happy over here. Perhaps the soil, my other one loved full sun, so maybe we'll have to take cuttings of these and put one out there in the full sun. It's definitely not happy here in the shade of the food forest. Then we have Tithonia diversifolia, Mexican sunflower, Grumachami cherry. Been waiting on blooms. But we got all sorts of nice new growth. I'm very pleased with that. It's doing great, looks happy. But we're just waiting to see if we get something pretty soon from it. Over here is my berry patch, and we have been doing excellent with the blackberries. You can see they're quite large. Yeah, he's in there. This one I'm gonna have to pick too. Well, I won't pick it right now, but we're doing really well. We're getting lots of little fruit sets. It's not a massive producer yet. It's still kind of young, maybe only 3 years old. Well, actually, I'm gonna kill this name, Osage or Osage. Anyhow, that's been only in there since August of 21. That one's a little bit younger. This one's a little bit older, so this is probably 2020. And this one is Wachita, I believe you say it that way. And yes, I've resorted to bird netting, and I know that will displease some of you, but at this point that's working, and we haven't caught any birds or snakes or anything in there. Over here is the Dorma red raspberry, which is waking up, but not really doing a lot of any blooming or anything. Also, not sure it's really happy with this area. Meyer lemon, I did lose the Meyer lemon in the smoothie garden. When I transferred that, it was not a happy camper, and I broke a lot of the root system and lost a lot of the dirt around it, and yeah, it's just not happy with life, and it decided to keel over. This is a nice muscadine. I think this was Summit muscadine in here, and it looks great, but I didn't see a single grape come out of there. We have various medicinals like elderberry in here, just tons and tons of blooms this year. We have some fruit set, some elderberry berries set. Can you see that right there? Oh, this one's a little closer. Yep, so we're starting to be able to collect that. We will be able to, and that's exciting. Up ahead, overhead, I should say, one part of my overstory besides the pine trees there is the moringa tree, and this one was just a little baby. It seems like last spring. Oh, and it has grown. I took 6-7 feet off of it in last fall, but it's decided that it's gonna still keep growing way beyond my expectations. So it's doing better. I had another moringa years ago, and it died in a frost. So this is number 2 for me. We have the different mints that are hanging out here in the shade of my cattle panel trellis tunnel. So we have 5 cattle panels all bent over as a tunnel in the food forest, and that's great. We put grapes on every vine, on every panel, and we did lose some grapes, and some aren't doing very well, and then we replaced those with passion vine. So, you know, some of it works, some of it doesn't. Here are grapes. We're having grapes for the first time. My tree, vine, not tree, finally has come along, and we did set quite a bit of fruit in here. Oh, it's so hard to see it. It depends on how the light, maybe that's easier on the eyes. Couldn't be happier. Very, very happy with that. And it's kind of nestled in between all the elderberry. And do you know what's missing? For those that have been here for a while, I've always had the Mexican cream guava right there, and I cut over 6 feet worth of Mexican cream guava, and wow, so we are seeing all sorts of new growth in there. I was hoping that I would see some blooms, so I did pose the question to the Florida Food Forest people, because it has not produced a bloom in 3 years, and so we're hoping that maybe the hard prune like this will actually start waking it up, and it has in many regards started waking it up, and maybe we'll see some fruit. Now I jumped right past the carambola, which is this is the bell starfruit variety, and wow, it's now so happy. The temperatures are up, we had rain, the yellow leaves are primarily gone, still got a few back in there, but much happier, and we're waiting any day now to see the blooms, the little pink blooms that bring out the fruit. And speaking of blooms, the peanut butter tree has put on blooms, many, many, many blooms. So we'll be seeing fruit here in June, I'm sure of that. I've walked right past. This is ruby red grapefruit, and it has also been enjoying brand new blooms and lots of bees buzzing. And it smells so good over here because I can smell all those blooms way up high, and the new growth and everything. And then my Meyer lemon, which I thought was toast, not only came back a little bit, but it put on blooms too. And I did try to hand pollinate that, but looks like we still didn't set fruit. I don't know what I'm gonna have to do to get a lemon around this place. I had 3 different trees, now down to 2, and still no lemons. I couldn't seem to get anything to grow in this corner, so we put a Turk's cap hibiscus in here. It's got very, very poor soil, and guess what? It just took off like crazy. And a bird also blessed me with a nice beauty berry in here, and in a container we have Mexican sage in our food forest. So this became the new home of the blueberries, and usually they get more shade, but you can see here at the very end of the day, this is like about 5:30, 5:45, they do get a couple hours of sun in here, and that's about all they need at the end of the day. And they rebloomed and actually set just a couple pieces of fruit, not too much this year. Next year will be better because we have the irrigation going to them now, and they're in a much happier situation. I have a key lime in here also, getting very happy. So maybe next year will be our year for fruit there. I have a nice angel rose. The turmeric is coming back up. And a miracle fruit that I've had since it was a tiny, tiny baby. And look at the fruit all over this. This is that special fruit that changes your taste buds for a good 30 minutes. Oh my goodness. That's a lot of fun to give and share with your friends. I give a lot away of this. I give away a lot of this fruit. It's so much fun. Look at this. It's really been going and going for a couple of weeks now. Very fun. Over here we have our grand nains. They're doing really well. We have our mushroom logs. Not as happy. They like it when it rains, but also I just think perhaps my spores that I inoculated the logs with, I'm wondering if they just weren't good, because they should have all been throwing me some oyster mushrooms and shiitakes by now, especially with all that rain we had in April. And they're just not doing their thing, so I think we're gonna go find some more logs and start all over again, buy some more spores, and see if we can get mushrooms growing. So recently I have put in a little bit of a border of coleus, so that's nice to see it getting a little sun. We have the 4 o'clocks there. We have this is a brown turkey fig. We have a Chicago hardy fig on the other side. Angel trumpet, put in different color impatience, and whatever this little sweet guy is down here, we got a couple of those. Plumeria and acha acha, which has fruit, but normally would have fruit, but this guy's been moved around multiple times, and so it's just now found its permanent home over here. I think we've had it with too much sun and not enough the right soil conditions, so we've put it over here by Jack's shed. And if we turn the corner, we see the beautiful alamanda bush, and I also have alamanda vine over there, and then the black-eyed Susan vine. Here's the Chicago hardy fig. I have the critter cage, but it's just been sitting there and haven't really tried very hard to catch anything. And way up here is my blue java banana, and let's see, what is that? Oh, shampoo ginger over there behind everything. So that's very nice. It pops up. I don't have to do anything, and it'll put out that really cool shampoo cone that you squeeze and get all the shampoo stuff out of. Oh, so I have to rework a little bit of this because I think my cat whiskers is not happy with all the shade. Oh, and I've got to water this impatience like now. And then Rudbeckia might do okay here, but it might need a little bit more sun. So I'm going to probably swap out the cat whiskers and put the impatience in here. But I just haven't got around to that yet. Been busy all afternoon since it came in. I think it came in around 12 or 1. And then we have salvia, different color salvias, yellow, and down here purple. So this is my UC-157 F1 hybrid asparagus. This is a perennial bed, and of course this side's been longer. Well, this side's the F1, and I've grabbed the seeds off of it, and I have started this side, so now we have F2 as well. I got to show you something really funny. I've been pulling some of the asparagus out of here. Like here's a nice spear. Oh, wait, there. Can you see it better without all that fern in the way? So that would be cool. But look what I've learned. I've learned a little trick. Watch this. Buddy comes over thinking I got something to eat. Buddy, come here. Come here. You want a piece of asparagus? There is something that he absolutely, come on, stop. He absolutely hates the smell of asparagus. Is that wrong to do that to your dog? I think it's absolutely funny. Well, I just discovered it like 2 days ago, but that was funny that he was shaking his head just like that and salivating. He didn't like asparagus. Here's Jaboticaba, and guess what? Well, it's putting on a lot of new growth, and I have done a chelated iron treatment on the ground, but oh my word, it is so not happy. I don't know how to make you happy. Does anybody, please put it in the comments below if you know how to make my Jaboticaba happy. It used to be the most beautiful green leaf and happy, you know, deep dark greens in there. And I'm not sure what I'm doing wrong. Is it getting too much sun? It gets up morning sun all the way to about 1 o'clock, and then the sun kind of goes behind the shed and shades it. But I don't know what I'm gonna do with that. Okay, and here we're almost back full circle, like in just this quadrant of the backyard. And I hope you saw the apple video, did you? Because I put a lot of work. That was a really hard edit, putting in all the pictures and words, and then I kept saying all the wrong. I kept calling it Nova Sky, and it's really Nova Spy, and Jonas Gold, and it's really Jonah Gold. I'm such an amateur, but I'm learning, and I love learning about all this stuff. This is Salsa Garden, and this is a really heavy producer area for me. It's about to do some changeover. I'm got to pull the red onions. We're gonna put some sweet potatoes in here, some white sweet potatoes in here as well as red, and what else? Oh, we pulled out the Napa Chardonnay. I have a volunteer Everglades in here going nuts that I didn't ask for it to do that. I have peppers. We're waiting on rain. Rain is right around the corner. I can see it in the sky. So I have banana peppers. I've got jalapeno peppers. I have got giant Ozarks. I forgot. Oh, Cubanelles are in here. Cubanelles are in here. In the back, we have a little bit of cherry tomatoes, but then all sorts of large tomatoes. And it's been just a fantastic season. I'll have to throw up a picture, but put up a picture of the other night, 2 nights ago. I grabbed tomatoes from this whole area, and it turned out to be 16 pounds of tomatoes in one night. Super stoked about that. So let's go through real quick on things that haven't had any camera time in a while. This is the Kajari melon, and it needs a little love. I gotta get in here, been so busy, but things are going well. I mean, you know, I'm busy picking tomatoes, and I got to probably can them soon. Look at that. Do you see there's an orange one right over there waiting to be picked tonight? Let's see, this is winged bean that just volunteered up. I did see a bean somewhere. Where'd you go? Why'd you get all dark on me? It looks all rust colored. Wonder what that's about. And then this is Sumter pickling cucumber. Oh yeah, there we go. We're finally starting to get the females. Oh, it has taken forever to get female blooms in here. And then this is starting to get to be a weedy mess, but it's still producing. Lots of tomatoes in there. These tomatoes are gone. That needs to be cleaned up. The Chef's Choice bicolor need to be cleaned up. They're all gone. Let's go on and move to another garden quickly. Just walking by here, and then I realized I forgot to mention something. So the container's doing great. The Nata Pinos look really good, have blooms on them. The pumpkin spice jalapenos got blooms on them. Oregano looks good. Orange bulbine, really good pollinator attractor. And we have pineapple guava, which gets almost no camera time, but it's doing great. It was just a tiny little pint, about, you know, a 1 gallon baby. Was it a year and a half ago? And it's just now officially my height, which is only 5'1". There's one of my passion vines. Let's go. Let's keep going. Okay, you guys, this is North Garden. I haven't done a lot of work up here. I pulled a couple of the cabbages, but not all of it like I wanted to. I made a whole massive pot of collards for church and for us, and it's already time to do it again. And the neighbor, but he'll eat more collards. So I just want to point out one thing or two things real quickly in here. The Seminole pumpkins, you see they have the more silvery leaf. Doing great. I'll always be able to spot them. And then the South Anna butternut squash, which is a hybrid with the Seminole pumpkin and the Waltham butternut. And so you can see the two differences in there. Isn't that really, really cool? And then the roselle's going well. That's probably about 18 inches high. They get a little bit less as it gets further away from the water source when I hand water. These are green beans, and we have blooms. We're setting fruit on there. We really, really could use, look at those. Those are pretty big. Really could use this rain. In fact, the clouds are coming over right now. And we have Corbaci peppers over there. I have red Marconis right over here. All that's doing well. The nasturtiums are climbing up the corner of the post. The butterfly peas are also looking super gorgeous, especially next to that blue. Almost looks like I like the Florida gators, but I don't. I'm a Georgia Bulldog girl, actually. And then the 4 o'clocks are coming out because it's after 4 o'clock. And this is the Brazilian candle, flaming candle. And it's just been a mainstay here since we put the fence up in, well, the end of 2018. So about 19 is when I had that plant. More butterfly peas, they planted themselves. Over here we've got Wyoming canna, just so gorgeous. Gonna throw up y'all. Sorry if I'm saying throw up a lot. Over here, South Garden, and it's just chugging along so nice, just maintaining itself. Not a lot new. The flowers are still here. The mustards are going to bloom and seed. Red Russian Cal is in here. The celery looks fantastic. This is Tango celery, and this is actually celery that I started from seed. We have several in there. I haven't even really picked from this because I'm still eating off the other celery in the backyard. But I did want to, okay, so do you see there's little bitty, every time I come in here to count, there's more gladioluses in here. They're definitely in here. They haven't thrown any bloom spikes up, but they're definitely in here. And then I have forgotten, were these market moors or marketers, full-size slicing cucumbers? But they're finally in here and throwing females. If I can find one for you, there's a female, but I know I had a much bigger one than that. Where are you? Ah, there's one. That one's been pollinated. You can tell by the little dark green end right here. See how that's so much darker? Then I know that's been pollinated. But anyhow, we're gonna be having lots of cucumbers here very soon. They're going down my fence, and I'm just letting them get nice and wild in here because it really doesn't matter to me. And over here, I haven't put in anything yet. The white sweet potato is still good. The perennial different spinaches are doing great. Look at that katuk shooting up through the potato vines. I may have forgotten to mention this, but that's a tropical sweet peach. And I think I passed right over it. And then there's been no progress on the coop. Right now we're really, really busy with the airplane annual. And here, this is the seedling tray that you saw me do last week. So the roselle are starting to pop up. Something came in here and knocked out my blanket flower. Oh, that's not nice. What else? Oh, the apple melon is coming up. The Persian basil is coming up. It looks really dry, doesn't it? I would water it, except for I think the rain is almost here. We have a really black cloud right there in the sky. That's awesome. The African daisies are popping up. The apricot lemonade cosmos are popping up. Yeah, everything's super, super thirsty. Now this, I found this on the other side of my yard, and it was sitting right below my neighbor's sea grape tree. Does that look like a sea grape baby to you guys? Pretty interesting, huh? Look at these ahi mangoes. Ahi mango peppers. They're doing really good. And what is this one? This is a sweet bonnet, but I don't see any. Oh yeah, it's just starting to throw blooms. Cranberry hibiscus. I have some celosia. Looking good. Oh, there it is, a green zinnia, but it's teeny tiny. Over here, My mums are starting to pop out. What is this? This is another ahi mango right here. And then I have a serrano pepper in here. I do have a serrano right there. And some more cranberry hibiscus. The Persian lime has put on more blooms and also putting in more fruit here and there. Just a little bit everywhere. There we go. Some new fruit. Yeah, that's doing really, really good. Of course, I would love to have a lot more fruit. Look, that one didn't get pollinated, so it's going to pop off of there. I would love to have a lot more fruit. I love limes. We seem to use it all the time, and these are the juiciest limes that you'll ever taste. I mean, the grocery store can't even compare to what's there. Also, speaking of what's there, do you see what's behind me? My house is yellow. Yep, been busy painting. And the front of the house has been yellow, and that side of the house has been yellow. And you know, between all the health issues, we won't even name all of them because there's like a handful. But anyhow, everybody's healthy, and I went ahead and painted the wall and finished it up. I even got the trim of it done. So how embarrassing not to have your house fully painted. It feels like it's been forever just waiting to finish that wall. But okay, here we are in house garden, and nothing's been done. I'm waiting for the okra babies to pop up, and we'll put some okra in here. I have peppers, of course, in here, and let's find one. Okay, so right there, you see that? Let me pull that leaf. These are Alma paprika peppers, and what's new this month is that I just found out last night that the seed for them has been discontinued at Totally Tomatoes. I'm very sad. I'll have to save all these seeds as best I can. This is Jimmy Nardello. Look how nice and strong. Beautiful pepper right there. I have a few of them, and then I had one I added later. I totally got to get in here and clean. But we're having way too much fun with company and just doing other things. You know, once in a while I have to clean my house too, you guys. Oh, and painting the house. Yeah. The celery has fallen over. Look, that's how hot it was today. Oh, I feel so bad for them. We definitely got to get some of this rain. Tomatoes. These tomatoes went in after the salsa garden tomatoes, and so they're doing okay. Let me think if I can remember. Like, these are Jet Stars here. I had Red Snap around the back. I don't think they did very well. The Red Rosas, we'll do a full video one day on just tomato varieties, but the Red Rosas set a lot of fruit, but I didn't get a lot of it between rot and critters, and I think they're just thin skinned, not the best tomatoes for Florida. Campari tomatoes. I have Abu Ruwan, which are just now like, ooh, it's 90 degrees. They love heat. Look at him stealing. Sweetheart cherry tomatoes. I've created a monster. And then these are big beefs, and I'm getting a lot of rot on these. So no, they're not big beefs. These are big tasty maters, which I'm just gonna pull this one and bring it in, because it seems like every night I come out here and there's one eaten by the critters that live in that hole right there. And I also have lots of, how many is that? Maybe 6 pineapples over here. But these pineapples are going when this building and this building go. So the chickens need to get moved over soon. Jack. No, as soon as the plane's done, we'll go throw the wire up on the chicken coop. Oh, did I forget to mention, I have a Black Beauty eggplant in there. Hates its life and location. This coop blocks all the sun to this Black Beauty. Behind me is my Barbados cherry tree, and I think I skipped it in the last garden tour video, and I wanted to be sure that you guys saw it. It has put on tons of blooms, and it's getting pollinated, and lots of brand new fruit on here. Every time it starts showing a lot of red, the fruit turning red, Oh, the squirrels come right down the highway and they start jumping on here and they eat all the red and the green cherry tomatoes, all the red and green Barbados cherries. But a lot of the pollinators live right up there in my attic. How about that? Yep, that's where they're living, and they come right over here and they pollinate my bush for me, which is, or tree, is it a tree? So that's really nice, except for I had to go do some work up there and do a little touch-up painting, and they were all over me trying to sting me. They did not like me. So it's about time for, usually in the heat of the summer, I move the green stalks, which are disassembled. I usually move them to shade. I don't know if I will or won't do that this year. But they are so heat stressed if we don't get rain soon. I picked a lot of kale for my friend and for my own. I made a frittata, so that was nice with all the extra eggs and kale. Look at the basil. That's just been since this morning. Oregano looks sad. This is Cuban oregano, living its best life in the 90-degree heat. We have different times. Now this one just bloomed. It'll probably drop the little seeds. I probably should go ahead and pick it out. And this is a different time. I'm not sure. I think this is lemon. Yeah, lemon time. That smells so good. And my crispino is crisping up with the heat. Flat leaf Italian parsley, Genovese basil. This is my mystery seed that turned out to be a super tunia, or some sort of petunia, super tunia, something like that. So beautiful little misplaced seed in a seed packet, and this is the only thing that germinated in that row. Here's that king tut or queen tut, something like that, grass, papyrus, and it's in here, or will be. We'll move and create a border in here and kind of lining the pool, because I don't think I'll put a deck around this little section. Of course, I'd like to finish the deck like from here to here and back. But anyhow, while we're at it, I have papayas in here. We did create this, and the papayas are doing great. They're I think they've grown a foot just this month. The white cat whiskers, the red gara is going off like fireworks. Look at that. And then the coral jade sedums, we're just kind of seeing, they seemed happy here while they were in their cups, and so I went ahead and transplanted them a couple of weeks ago. My knockout roses are doing good. It's probably about time, yeah, to deadhead this. Although they look great whether you deadhead them or not. I do love these roses. Look at this ridiculously beautiful red, and they're crazy. I mean, they bloom like constantly. Hello. Uh-oh. Shenanigans around this house. And then I have the pink sundial echinacea. So that's about to throw a bloom. I'll probably put a picture up of it when that does happen. I have the YouTube community page that I use a lot, and I'm also on Instagram under @robin.florida. And so you'll find very up-to-date pictures. Usually I take pictures that day and then put them on there at night. Here is my dwarf Cavendish bananas, and they do really well even though they're in a very shady location. We lost a couple to frost. We lost this one to frost. This one tried to die, but then tried to have a rack, but the rack is going nowhere. It's kind of stuck in there. It's a constipated banana rack. Oh well. And then here is my Arbequina olive. What is this? Are we starting to see? Oh, I thought right there, I thought we were going to start seeing some blooms. It's about ready, maybe next year. This just got transplanted with just a little less than 2 months ago. So I think it'll do really well there. Even though it's kind of shady, it probably would love a little bit more sun. But in the summer, it's going to get plenty of sun, especially right here in Florida. Well, you guys, that's it for the garden tour. I breezed over things really quick, and I didn't even include the butterfly garden. But I hope you understand I'm trying to beat the weather and keep this short for you guys. If you have any questions about what I'm growing, since I did breeze through, you want to know, you know, growth habits and whatever, just ask me that in the comments below and I'll let you know. I definitely don't know all there is to growing, especially in Florida, and especially all the fruits and vegetables, and even in my yard. But I will be happy to answer what I know and then refer you to other places and other people on things I don't. So you guys, thank you for touring with me. Take care, God bless, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye-bye.